Hey Divas, welcome or welcome back. It's your girl Keisha here with another video. And today we're going to figure out how much did I actually spend on our spring break trip. So if you like budgeting, cash stuff, and sinking fund savings challenges, every and all things that have to do with your money, I would love for you to subscribe, but more importantly, don't move. All right, girl. Well, thank you. You guys watched me cash stuff and save money for this trip. You watched me pre-plan and pre-budget. You actually see me actually take the trip. Now let's see if everything I projected money-wise actually works out. So today I'm working out of the travel budget planner. You know I love this planner. If you're new here, this is a budget planner I created specifically for traveling. And we did the work ahead of time, right? And as I was going through the trip and even after I came back, I was able to fill in the expenses that I incurred while on the trip. And I did not total everything up, and I didn't fill it in because I want to do with you guys here today. So let's go ahead and get that done and see what your girl spent. So what did I use to track my expenses? Sometimes I did things on the spot. So as I paid for things, I came in here and filled them in. And then I also have my cabin invoice you get at the end of the cruise. And you can see I highlighted my expenses here. So I was able to indicate what we actually spent on the trip. And I kept receipts, girl, because I keep receipts. I keep receipts, one, because I want to track my expenses, and two, because I don't play about Fetch. All right, if you're unfamiliar with Fetch, I'll put my code right here. It's an app that rewards you for tracking your expenses. So what you do when you make a purchase, it could be from McDonald's, it could be from the Dollar Tree, it could be from Neiman's, wherever you spend money, you scan your receipt and you get a certain amount of points. I think the minimum points you can get on a receipt is 25 points. Those points then convert to gift dollar points. Okay, so when you get a certain amount of points, you can then convert them into gift cards or whatever the case is. So it's pretty much free money. It takes you about 2 seconds of your day to scan your receipts to the app. So if you do not have the app, here's my code. You can use my code when you download the app. You'll get 2,000 points just to start on the app, and I also get 2,000 points for referring you. So if you don't have it, girl, you are missing out. Okay, so nonetheless, that's how I keep track of my expenses. So let's kind of go through things here, and then we'll fill them in the budget column, and then we'll add everything up and see what it is, okay? So first thing is the flight. So my budget was $565, and you can see over here on the expenses, it was actually $564.90. So we're gonna go ahead and put the actual in here. Okay, parking at the airport, I budgeted $78. It was exactly $78. Now my Lyft, I did budget for a Lyft because we took a Lyft from the hotel to the cruise port, and then once we returned, we took a Lyft from the cruise port to the airport. The original transportation when we first landed in Fort Lauderdale to the airport, we waited for the hotel shuttle because you know your girl's trying to save money when she can. So let's go ahead and add that up. So here goes my 2 Lyft expenses, and add that up and see. $73.85. Okay, so we came in under budget. You know, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if we were going to get the hotel shuttle or not, and it's spring break, and a lot of things have been heightened, increased because of spring break. So I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything else. And what I'm going to do also is I'm going to highlight these expenses. I'm going to use my regular highlighters for the categories because they are very similar to my regular budget categories. So I'm just going to make sure, you know, I don't miss anything along the way. Okay, so transportation expenses are complete. Let's go ahead and add it up and see exactly how much I spent. Okay, so $716.75. So we spent about $76 less than what I budgeted. So good. I'm glad for that, because that's not going to be the case for a lot of these categories, girl. Trust me. Okay, so the actual accommodations is what I consider the cruise, which was actually the trip. So I did spend $1,800 for the cruise. Now the hotel, you guys know, gave me some angst along the way. I think it was still expensive for me. I think $282.50, not too bad, but the location was super nice. It was in the area called Dana Point. I've never heard about that area before. It was super nice. I can't even, really complain about that too much. So my total here would now be $2,082.50. Okay. Let's see what color I can use for that. We'll use home, since that was my temporary home while we traveled. So accommodations here. Anything else? Nope. Okay. All right. Okay, so we also came in a little less in that category. Now let's go to food and beverage. The drink package, which we pre-purchased, I budgeted $489, so that's roughly the same thing. I spent $488.40 rather. The kids soda package, which we also pre-purchased, was $169.68. Okay, travel day. This is the food, the money I was going to spend on traveling in the airport, eating that day. So there are a couple expenses I have for that right here. So first we have the actual airport. We ate at the airport that morning. That was $34. And then that night we had dinner with the family that was traveling with us. So that's $212. And then let's go to travel day when we returned home, which is really expensive. We had a long layover. I mean, that was really ruthless, and I would never do that to me or my kiddos again. And then I'm gonna add dinner when we got home, because who wants to cook once you come back from a trip? So I forgot what we ate. We had fast food. Okay, anything else? Okay, so trip day alone, that's the trip day, the travel day we went, and the travel day we returned. We spent $324 on food, which is a lot. So a note to me for this is just to pay a little bit more for the flight. The flight and the food could have washed itself out, because if I would have paid a little bit more for the flight, maybe I wouldn't have spent so much on the travel day, because we had a long layover, girl. Like, we get off the cruise ship. They try to get you off that ship as soon as possible. So we got the cruise ship probably 9-ish. We were at the airport before 11, and our flight didn't leave till 4. I swore Fort Lauderdale had a USO, which is a space that veterans, active duty members, retirees can go to and chill. They usually have food and snacks and TV and video games, and they do not have one at Fort Lauderdale Airport. So that's why I felt comfortable having such a long layover, girl, but egg on my face because they did not have one there. Okay, and then the trip. I figured even though we were going on a cruise, I was going to be spending money somewhere along the way for food. So let me see if we spent food anywhere else. Yep, we spent $27 and $53 on food, like on the ship. And that's only because my kids were swiping the card like they thought it was just free, okay? They came back with Powerades and Gatorades. I'm like, what is happening here? They caught me. And then we did buy some milkshakes, which was fine. I was prepared to buy the milkshakes because I know we got a discount, like buy one, get one 50% off, something like that. So that I was planning on spending, but the kids are swiping and buying all sorts of crap. That threw me for a loop, okay? So that was okay, but I just wasn't expecting that. So actual on the trip, we spent $27.83, which I don't think is bad. So let me just make sure I didn't miss anything else as far as food and beverage goes. Nope. Okay, so let's go ahead and add everything up right here and see how much we've spent. So we spent $1,009.95. Okay. All right, let's go to the activities. So the wine tasting, I did do. It was a great time, but I had a cruise credit, so I'm not gonna count that as an expense. I'm gonna put 0, even though I did go, okay? Because I didn't use my money, you know what I mean? So I want to be as actual as I can with this. Perfect day at Coco Cay. Girl, the kids didn't even want to get the boat for Coco Cay. And I was okay with that because sometimes when you've been to a port several times, if you stay on the ship, that's really the best time because everyone's off the ship, so you get to get the best seat at the pool. The kids were going up and down the slide because there really was no line, so we were fine with that. At Labadee, Haiti, we did not spend any money there either, so that was our first time there. It was a good stop, a good port. At the time of this recording, I think they paused that because again, there's so much turmoil in Haiti. I think most people don't realize that Labadee is on the same island as Haiti. It's just the exclusive part for the Royal Caribbean side of the island, but they've stopping there. So I think we were like one of the last cruise guests that were able to go to the island. But again, it was a nice port. And again, that was my first time there. So I just know if we ever return there, which I would like to, we need to get off that ship earlier because first come, first serve on those beach chairs, girl, unless you get a cabana or something like that. Jamaica, we spent $210, which, girl, I had the worst time in Jamaica. It was just a hot mess. Let me see other activities that I can put here. I don't have anything other that will fall under here. And I'm gonna put 0 there. This is because if I was gonna play bingo or just do any of the thing on the ships that costs us money, and I didn't do any of that. And we didn't go to the spa, girl. Oasis of the Sea is an older ship that has been slightly refurbished. And it was just old to me. As far as the spa goes, I was like, nah, I'm not interested in spending my money here. So I spent $210 in activities versus $810, which is awesome. I do need to go back here and highlight these, the food and beverage category. I forgot. If you want to know what I'm reaching for, I have my caddy right here. This is where I keep all my budgeting stuff. Okay, so let me go back to the dining out real quick. Okay, for the activities, let me highlight that as well. Oh, you know what? Let me take that back. I did go to the casino. And girl, we played with $1,000, but it was a fee because I didn't have the cash on me. This is the transparent moment. I did not win. So your girl lost $1,000 between me and my husband, so. So I need to add that on here because I did not add that on here. So we'll put fun. It wasn't fun for me, girl. I mean, we enjoyed it. The thing with gambling, you have to just know if you're gonna do it just to use money that you are okay with losing. I know you never want to gamble with the thought of losing the money, but fun. Ugh. Okay, so now let's highlight those expenses here. So, okay, girl, let me tell you what I got smacked in the face with. My damn pet steak. I thought it was $150. I don't even think I put it over here. That joker was $526. Now my husband takes full responsibility for this because it's the one task he had to do. And we normally take our dog there. And when he was booking it, I said, honey, just make sure you confirm the price. He's like, it's gonna be the same price, it's gonna be the same price. When we called the morning to pick up the dog and they hit us with the $526, I almost passed out. I almost fell to the floor. But what can you do at that point? I can't leave my dog there, you know? So this also was just a stupid, hideous mistake, very preventable if we would have done the research. I'm not gonna throw my honey under the bus too much, but that one is his fault. So $526. I mean, that is 4 times what I expected to pay. Okay, so all right, tips. We spent $110. I think I prepaid the gratuity with my cruise, but you know, we tipped along the way. And some gratuity might be added in there. I'm not sure, but $110 what I came up with the tips. I don't think I have any. Oh, I do have a miscellaneous. Girl, why did my son, he could not find his headphones the morning of the trip. Literally the morning of the trip, we are leaving out of the house, driving down the street, and he does not have his AirPods. And I was like, there's no way. We're about to travel, do all of this, and he doesn't have a set of headphones. So we had to run to Walmart and pick him a pair of some headphones. So I spent $27 on that, girl. Souvenirs, you can see here, we spent $77.95. And that was just some stuff for all of us. And the only person we purchased something for that wasn't on the trip is my mother-in-law. She lives with us, so we got her bag. She likes to carry bags with her every day. I think that is it. Spending, we didn't really spend anything because we didn't go to much ports or anything. The Jamaica, we didn't buy any souvenirs, so everything was just actually us paying to go to the beach and that entire day. These kids did get me. I did prepay and buy them an arcade game, which I didn't put here because I did use the cruise credit, but then they hit me up again on the ship, and that was $60, okay? They hit me up, they exceeded their arcade game amount, and then they ordered some movies to the cabin, because one thing, the movies on that cruise ship was whack. There was nothing going on there. Okay, and then I did order Wi-Fi because there was one day that I had to log in and check some emails or something. I did not get the Wi-Fi package, so I did have to get that one day. So tip, if you don't want to get the package, which you may want to check your email just one day, just know it's around the $20-something mark, okay, for one day versus $200 for all 7 days. Okay, I think that was it. That was all the expenses for that. Let's go ahead and add up this column here. So we spent $831, 14 in this category. Okay, let's total. I'm gonna go ahead and fill in all the categories, and we're gonna see how much we actually spent on this trip. Okay, so we spent $5,875.39. So really, 1,000 of that was really us playing in the casino. So I could attribute that to the cruise or not, but I spent it, so it's part of the budget. And we did fine. So even with that casino, I spent just $400 more than I budgeted, and a lot of you said that was a good budget for a family of 5. So we did good, girl. A couple of hiccups, like I mentioned. The hotel room, again, I wasn't expecting it to be that much. We definitely overspent on our dog. Even not the playing with the casino, that's fine, because I always like to gamble a little bit when I'm out on vacation. So we did pretty well, okay? The tips and everything we talked about, I don't even have to do that because it's just the cash that I had, but I'll just break it down. So we spent, well, I didn't spend any cash money on souvenirs. I spent all the $30 travel day. I didn't spend anything on spending, and then I just spent the $110 on the tips. Oh, the food and beverage, let me take that back. We did have some Dollar Tree stuff, right? before we went. We did spend $15 there. If you want to get technical about that. I mean, that's just really in the weeds, but we're already in the weeds, girl. Let's just continue the journey. So this is gonna be $580.90. Other expenses, pretty much the miscellaneous category. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. And then I'm just going to total up everything here. I'm going to include that because I just want to know how much we spent overall on the trip, whether I spent the money or not. Okay, so for the entire trip, including cruise credits and everything, I spent $6,106.40. So that is what we spent on this trip. We had a good time. Was it worth it? Yes. Could I have saved money somewhere else? Yes, but I can't beat myself up in areas that I could have done better. But I feel good about it, and I cannot wait to plan the next trip because you know your girl has another trip planned. But make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I can't wait to share with you in the coming days, pretty much next month, where we are traveling to next, and I'm starting that cash stuffing journey with you. So let me know, what do you think about my numbers? Now that you've seen what I actually spent, and let me know if you can guess where we might travel to next. So if you haven't done so, I would love for you to subscribe. And like always, I'll see you in the next one. Later.